So we've been getting a lot of good requests from our good friend to the channel, Bo Shees from Woodstock, New Brunswick. Now this player and Bo have crossed paths through the years. They've made a friendship through the years, and I'm sorry that I never did a podcast on him before. This man stood out like a tomato in a briar patch. Not only because he's red hair, like he was tough as all get out, like a $2 steak. This guy was a $1.99 steak. A long shot to make the NHL, a long shot to make the Stanley Cup playoffs, and he did that. And if the Flyers would have won a cup in 1980, he would have had his name on the Stanley Cup. Now today we're going to be talking about the tall drink of water known as Francis Leonard Bathe, or Frank Bathe. Now, born September 27th in Oshawa, played the majority of his career on defense. He first came to major prominence with some good seasons with the Windsor Spitfires of the SOJHL in 73 and 74, putting up 88 points in 117 games over 2 regular seasons. Now, he was undrafted, eventually signed a contract with Detroit, and played 19 games with them in 1975. But where he came to major prominence, he was sort of like an enforcer slash protector for the Virginia Wings that season, where he had 18 points in 50 games, including 146 minutes and penalties. Now the 76 season, he split time actually with 4 squads. Played 7 games with Detroit, 7 games with New Haven of the AHL, 14 games with the Kalamazoo Wings of the IHL, and then with the Port Huron Flags of the IHL, we had 5 points in 43 games and nearly over 200 minutes and penalties in the regular season and playoffs. Now, 77 at Port Huron, that's where the legend really built. He became the main enforcer for the squad with 37 big points in 71 games. By 78, he found himself in the Philadelphia Flyers view, and played his first season with the Maine Mariners, where he became a hometown hero to everybody in Maine, from Presque Isle all the way to Augusta, Portland, and Point South. Now, his first game with the Flyers was 78. With the Mariners in that season, he had 15 points in 78 games, including 159 minutes and penalties. Now, 79, he finally made it to the big club, played 21 regular season games with 4 points, and scored his first playoff goal in the 6 games for the squad in the postseason. 79, again, split time with Maine and Philadelphia. Philadelphia, he played 47 games in the regular season with 111 minutes and penalties, and a lot of rugged fights with some of the top grapplers of the NHL. 81, 44 games with the Flyers, 175 minutes and penalties, and played pretty well a full campaign in the playoffs with 12 contests for the Flyers. 82 and 83, again, limited action, but still with the Flyers. Found himself back with Maine in 84, and one last game with the Flyers in Philadelphia in the playoffs in that campaign. Now, he suffered from major injuries during his career, but a recurrent back injury that caused him problems finally ended his NHL career in 1984. Now, because he was a standout on the ice, and he also played for the Flyers where they were wearing those gym pants like the Hartford Whalers was, the Flyer and Maine Mariner faithful loved it when he fought. They would chant "Frank, Frank, Frank" from the $5 seats to the $500 seats. Now in retirement, he's been pretty successful. He's mostly in the business side at Jetport Gas Convenience at West Avenue in South Portland. Very beautiful section of the province. I would just suggest visiting South Portland at any chance you have, not only for the great stories about Frank, but because of the great legacy of sports for the South Portland area. Some good people down there. Now, Frank is... the reason why he stands out for a lot of people, how many redheads you know that were an enforcer in the NHL? Besides Gordie Dwyer, my old buddy from Nakowick, New Brunswick. It doesn't happen very often. He was a pure redhead and stood out, and like I said, maybe that's how fights started. He made fun of his red hair, but Frank would never start a fight, but boys, he would finish it. Most times it was either a draw or victory. I do remember a couple of fights against the Nordiques that all I can say is that It was a dance on skates for all the right reasons, put it that way. So that's a legend of Frank Bathe. Again, thank you to Bo Sheaves for making the suggestion, and here's hoping that every hometown hero like Frank still remembered 4 decades later like he is. I know parts of Detroit talk about his legend as well, because the Red Wings' lack of toughness in the late 70s, early 80s, they could use Frank on the blue line, especially on the road. Frank wasn't scared to play on the road. And if you look at the old YouTubes, it's self-evident. Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye.